Hey guys, this is Dave here with a look at Battlefield 1 on PlayStation 4 Pro. We'll be tackling both 4K and 1080p output modes and indeed seeing exactly what kind of upgrades DICE has given us. It's also worth mentioning that this is a 4K stream, and if you want to have ultra high quality video without any compression artifacts, then be sure to check out digitalfoundry.net and subscribe. Though of course you can continue to watch on YouTube if you'd like. Right, so let's get started. We've got the PlayStation 4 Pro version running in the 4K mode on the left, and that's up against PC running natively in 4K resolution on the right. And as you can see, there are several differences between the two versions. Battlefield 1 doesn't quite hit a native 4K. In fact, we actually see the use of checkerboard rendering along with a dynamic resolution scaler here. And yeah, the temporal anti-aliasing present in the console versions returns, so regardless of what pixel count the game seems to be outputting, you're always getting a very smooth, clean image. The difference comes in how sharp individual scenes appear. From what we've figured out so far, the game appears to run at a range of different resolutions. So we picked up 1440p in a less demanding scene when looking up at the sky, whereas in other areas we see anything between 1468p and 1656p across the first two levels of the game. And the results change depending on the rendering load at any given point. So in effects heavy scenes, we're generally looking at a lower resolution. Up against the PC version running in 4K, then yeah, it's noticeably softer. Essentially, textures and finely detailed scenery definitely appear clearer and crisper on the PC version at native 4K, which I guess is to be expected. That said, this isn't a bad upgrade over the base PS4 game, particularly in areas where on the base game we were seeing 900p resolution. The PS4 Pro running on the 4K screen, even though it's not hitting 4K resolution natively, still appears sharper than that. If you do have an Ultra HD screen, then the game looks a lot better running in this particular mode than say running the original base game upscaled to 4K. When switching the console directly to 1080p, the game will output a down-sampled image, and arguably it's here where PS4 Pro owners definitely get a huge benefit. If you've got a full HD TV, then you're immediately given a much sharper presentation than the base PS4 game, which could operate from 900p to around 1000p, both of which appear noticeably softer. But the big gain is with the super sampling. Not only do you get the extra sharpness, the game looks very, very clean. In terms of console level image quality, it's really impressive to see. There are also upgrades outside of basic resolution, and it's worth pointing out that these are the same whether or not you're running the PlayStation 4 Pro at 4K output or 1080p. The core rendering mode remains the same. For example, we see an increase in alpha effects, particularly physics-based particles. This doesn't quite match the PC version running maxed out, but it does add a bit more intensity to explosions and effects-laden scenes, which is pretty cool to see. Texture detail also appears to be locked at the high setting, whereas on PlayStation 4 we're looking at a combination of medium and high, so it does mean we get slightly clearer assets across various surfaces when running the game on the Pro. Similarly, terrain quality also gets a similar upgrade. On the base PS4 game this was a combination of medium and low, but on PS4 Pro this seems to be locked at a set medium, which means we get slightly more detail scattered across the ground, primarily with regards to the textures. It's not a huge bump in graphical quality in this regard, and when we're comparing it to the PC version running at max settings in Ultra, then the PC version, well, has a lot more detail. That being said, the PC game does have more available RAM, so it's not unexpected not to be seeing the console version running at max settings. Streaming is also another area where we see an upgrade on the Pro, with higher quality textures and models appearing more quickly on screen. This could simply be down to a difference in hard drive specification, but as it stands, the Pro kind of sits in between the PC and base PS4 version of the game. Beyond that, and it doesn't seem like much has changed in other areas. Taking a look at depth of field and motion blur, and this appears to be a match for the base PS4 game. Likewise, undergrowth quality and ambient occlusion also remain unchanged, and shadow quality again, that hasn't been increased, so the PC version still provides a notable step up here. In terms of overall graphical quality then, the Pro definitely delivers an upgrade, whether you're using a 4K screen or a 1080p monitor. But what about performance? In this video we're concentrating on the campaign, but we will be checking out the multiplayer to see if any improvements have taken place there. But for now we can say that the single player mode definitely gets a welcome boost when running on the Pro. On the base PS4 game, Battlefield 1 actually spends a lot of time running at a locked 60 frames per second, and in undemanding areas you get a nice smooth experience. But when the engine starts pushing the GPU with fill rate heavy effects, explosions, particles, that kind of stuff, then frame rates do take a dive. Whereas on PlayStation 4 Pro, well, a lot of these drops are either smoothed over or completely ironed out, and as a result, there is less judder on screen. In fact, there are several instances where frame rates are dropping on the base PS4 game, whereas on the Pro, these go by smoothly at a locked 60 frames per second. It's a great upgrade, and this is present whether you're running in 4K mode or outputting 1080p from the console. So, full HD owners get a great experience, with upgraded effects work, much better image quality, and much smoother performance. And if you've got a 4K screen, you can also bypass the screen scaling and get much better image quality than you would when running the base PlayStation 4 game connected to a 4K screen. Overall, I think Battlefield 1 holds up rather well on PS4 Pro. Resolutions could be higher in the 4K mode, as we're still getting a soft looking image, which I guess I'm not too keen on, but it's still better than a 1080p upscale, so that's good news for 4K TV owners. However, I actually feel that the biggest benefits here are for owners of plain old full HD screens. You get much better image quality and of course better performance and additional effects. It's a win-win situation, and it's the kind of thing I like to see with games running on the Pro. Anyway, that's about it for this video. As ever, don't forget to give us a like or subscribe if you enjoy what we do at Digital Foundry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.